Tammy here. So, today I'm going to talk about a contemporary romance written by J.D. Salisbury. It is a MMA book. It's mixed martial arts if you don't know what MMA is. So, the main characters of this book are Raven and Jonah. You get to see Blake and Owen and Caleb and Eve. You get to meet all of those people, but the main characters are really Raven and Jonah. So this book is basically about Raven. Raven is a product of a pimp father and a prostitute mother. Jonah is a mixed martial arts heavyweight. He's in the round to get the championship belt, so it's a title round. The thing is this, that how they met is that Jonah has a Chevy that he wants to restore. Raven is a mechanic and she restore old Chevy cars like Oldsmobile, that they come classic cars. There you go, classic cars, that's what it is. So she restored classic cars. So they met because he wanted a classic car restored. Normally he would bring the cars to the people because he don't want to know where anyone lived, but when he saw Raven, he had to have her. So he convinced her to restore the car at his house because he has everything she would need there and she should be comfortable. Anyway, they got into the relationship and he convinced her to come, and like 3 days later they're boyfriend and girlfriend, and he can't get enough of her. So I was like, okay, this is good, it's going fast. Raven is a virgin, so because she's a product of a prostitute mother and a pimp father, she wants nothing to do with the lifestyle. She wants whoever she's giving herself to is someone that's worthy of her and would treat her and appreciate her. So when Raven found out that found out who Jonah was, she knew who Jonah was, but she also knew of his lifestyle, that he was a playboy and all of this stuff. So she was very hesitant to date him, but she gave it a chance and she dated him, and she found out that he's not really who they say he is, but he's just basically changed him. So, but to me, he still was a playboy. Anyway. Long story short, she met his best friend Blake. Blake is, his jokes are like so lewd and like, oh, they're like corny, kind of rude, and like there's sexual innuendo, but they're so corny, like really. But she's like young and naive, and she thought he's funny and laughed at his jokes. So the main thing of this thing is now they get into a relationship. Jonah is taking his time to get to know Raven. He wants to protect her. He wants to shelter her. He basically wants to give her everything that her mother and father did not give to her, because really and truly she have no relationship with neither father or mother. She's by herself. She's not 21 yet. So lo and behold, she and Jonah started getting relationships, and now the father came into play. The father is, as I said, is a pimp, but he's also like one of the most dangerous men ever lived in their they're in Las Vegas, if I forget to say that. They're in Las Vegas. So he's one of the most dangerous men in Las Vegas. He's not only a pimp, he's an extortionist. He has his hand in everything. And I mean everything. He's like the mafia of Los Angeles, right? Of Las Vegas. So right before, it's like a couple weeks before her birthday, he knows that she and Jonah is starting to get a relationship, so he summoned her to come see him. So she went. She thought she's gonna have this daughter-father relationship that she never had before. Nope, lo and behold, that wasn't the case. This fool basically told her that you were a product of my inbreed. I wanted your mother to have you pure as day so you could continue the family business. She's like, what? Yeah, he's like, I have a job for you, and your job is to continue the family business. She's like, I'm not being a prostitute. He said, you don't have a choice. He threatened her, her family, her friends. He threatened everything that she stood for, and she was so heartbroken. So she went home and she didn't want anything to do with anyone. Jonah came searching for her and found her. So Jonah found out exactly what happened. So he concocted this plan to go confront her father and ask her, whatever you want, I give it to you, just leave her alone. So the father wanted him to throw his title bet. So throw the title belt, meaning that he wanted him to lose the match. So he was like, okay, I'll do it. So once I lose it, you're going to leave Raven alone, right? He said, yeah. But you know them. You could never trust them because they're so slick and conniving and evil. You just can't trust them. Anyway, that's the plan. So the thing is this, the fight is the day before Raven's 21st birthday. And she wanted to do stuff with him, but the father wanted to get her before she's 21. So her father's really planning to sell her as a virgin, but she's no longer a virgin because she and Jonah did the deed, which is great. So that take her out of the category, but he still wants her because she's still young and pure and breakable. Anyway, long story short, Jonah has to throw the title belt. He has to go 3 rounds with this guy and throw the belt. So once he throw the belt, he's gonna win because Dominic, which is her father, is gonna bet a lot of money on the guy. So if Jonah loses, the guy will win and he would get a lot of money, and that would be what Raven's worth to him. Lo and behold, Jonah had a different plan. He didn't throw the title belt. No, he didn't. And I was happy about it because he worked so hard for it. I wouldn't want him to throw the belt, and for, like, it's not a selfish reason, but, like, dude, you work so hard for it. Like, why? But I get why he did it. Anyway, he didn't do it. And Dominic, he kidnapped his daughter. Yes. Oh, God, I can't stand that man. You know how some men are just straight up evil? He was just like the spawn of Satan altogether. That man is evil. Anyway, long story short, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Long story short, Jonah found out, or went to her mother and said, listen, if you need to, you know where Dominic is holding your daughter, you have to tell me. She's like, I have no idea. How did he get Raven? Blah, blah, blah. She was just going around. He's like, no, you need to tell me. So she thought of where she had Raven. And she's like, oh, that's where he had her. So anyway, he and Blake went there to confront him to get Raven back. Raven ended up breaking his right-hand man arm, which I thought was cool because Jonah had showed her earlier how to break an arm. And she broke his arm, and he was pissed. He beat the crap out of her. But that didn't happen. And Raven basically is trying to get away. And at the same time she's trying to get away, Jonah's trying to rescue her. So through the battle, they end up meeting at one point, and they have a standoff with Dominic. So lo and behold, a scuffle happened and Raven got away, but Dominic and Jonah went at it. So the gun went off, but nobody knew who got killed. But one of them got killed. But we already know who got killed, right? The bad guy. Always do. Always. So Dominic is gone. And Jonah was like, oh my God, baby, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. But Jonah kind of got hurt a little bit. Not too much, but he did get hurt. But, and that was the end of that. So he took her to the hospital, and then because she was his only offspring that she knew of, she got all his asset that he had. She had no idea that this man had this much real estate, this much. He had his hands in everything. He practically owned 3/4 of Vegas. That's how much he owned. So she wanted it. She got it. And she didn't really want nothing to do with it. So she ended up opening a shelter for battered women, abused women, kids that need help, like therapy, all this good thing that she did with it. And I was so proud of her for doing that, because a lot of people just took the money and ran, but she was helping other battered women that he basically destroyed their life and their kids' life, which I thought was sweet. Her and Jonah got married, and they lived happily ever after. And that's the end of the story. This book is a great book. This is the first book in J.B. Salisbury series. It's an entire series. I think it's about 6 or 7 books in this. I read this book, no lie, guys, about 3 or 4 years ago when it first came out. I decided to go back and reread it to do a review on it to refresh my memory. But the entire series is great. As I said, you get to meet Blake has a book, Caleb has a book, Rex has a book. Owen does not have a book. I'm surprised. I thought he would have a book, how he met Nikki, but he doesn't have a book. Eve have a book, and I think that's 6 books, so maybe it's only 6 books so far. She's starting a new series. This thing is called Split. That one came out already. It came out October of last year, and then she did Split Christmas, December. So she's working on a lot of stuff, but you guys have to check her out. J.B. Salisbury, all her books so far, except for Split, are the MMA books. So she's awesome. Check her out, guys. Bye.